Well, hey there, I'm Emma from English. Today's video is a quiz specifically to test your listening and your spelling skills, and hopefully to introduce a few new words as well. As I'm sure you have already noticed, English is full of pairs of words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently and they have different meanings, perhaps they're different types of words. They're called homophones, and this quiz is going to test your English accuracy. And I have a sneaky feeling that some of my excellent students are going to perform better, much better, than some of my native speaking friends. I've already asked some of them to do this quiz exactly as you're about to do it now, and none of them got it 100% right. So if you're a native English speaker, I challenge you to take this quiz too, and to please share your results down in the comments below. Honest results. As I said, I'll be testing your listening skills and your accuracy in writing. So let me tell you what I need you to do. You'll hear me say a sentence out loud, and you'll see that sentence on the screen, but there will be a word missing. Have you ever tried eating raw steak? You simply need to guess what that correct word is. And since we're practicing your spelling today, it is absolutely essential that you write down your answer. I'm not just testing the words that you hear, but also your spelling. So hopefully you wrote raw and not raw. As we get further into the lesson, these words are going to get a little trickier, and there will be more words missing from the sentence, so you'll need to listen very carefully. To get ready, you could either write 1 to 60 on a notepad or type them on your computer. In fact, I've added 1 to 60 down in the comments below, so if you just want to copy and paste all of that, I've done all of the hard work for you. Copy and paste it into a comment and you can type them as we go. We'll move quickly. This is a speed test. You only have 3 seconds to write down the missing word that you hear. So make sure you're prepared before we get started. I'm not going to share the answers as we go. I'm going to share the answers at the end of the lesson. So this means you can turn it into a bit of a challenge with friends if you want. You can compete against them and then add up your scores at the end. Or if you're a teacher, you could get your whole class to compete together, then go through the answers at the end of the lesson. As always, if you've got a question or a comment, add it down below. I'll be down to continue the conversation when you finish the lesson. Oh, and one last important thing. Make sure you switch off your subtitles, okay? Otherwise, you're going to see the answers as we go. For the first time ever, I'm reminding you to switch off your subtitles. Then, let's get started. I felt sure I would see him here. Did you hear me say that I wasn't listening? How many people were there? There are a few too many apples in the basket. Don't you dare tell me they're not here. Do you realize that you're late? Usually people roar with laughter as he comes out on stage. I took off my shoes and let my bare feet in the sand. I think there's a splinter in Billy's paw. I went to see your brother last night, but he wasn't home. We had enough left to buy her an apple muffin. Martha was worried. She'd detected several flaws in the new design. The boat had drifted quite far from the shore. I can't remember which was which. Bear with me, I have a few more things I need to finish before I leave. All he did was stop and stare. He blew out the candles before we finished singing. They left 2 pears and an uneaten sandwich on the table. This lesson was brought to you by me. We're leaving next week and I have no idea what to wear. It's a little chilly outside today. We leased our apartment and went backpacking for a year. I saw Billy earlier, but now he's out of sight. To be honest, I thought the price was a little dear. I need a small amount of flour as I knead the bread. My puppy always chews on my shoes. I think Tim threw it into the car. Someone left their jacket in there. There are 7 different options for dessert. He used to require assistance to climb the stairs. We've been through this several times before. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I had no idea that the family was in mourning. I'm waiting for you to accept my invitation. I was quite surprised when I opened the door. There was a maid there to greet me. People usually flare their nostrils when they're incensed. Photography inside the building is banned. We have a new piece of information, but I don't think it will alter anything. She always dresses with such flair. Most pig species are covered in coarse hair. John's family bred racehorses when he was younger. I like all of them, except the blue one. I just need a moment of peace and quiet. I hope we don't see unemployment soar to new heights over the coming months. I saw him a few days after the accident, and he had quite a sore leg. There was a familiar scent in the kitchen. My businesses have their own discrete identity. What is the cost of the fare to Greenwich? Getting 7 kids up and ready for school is no easy feat. Even though I wanted to give up, I didn't want to appear weak. They asked us whether we were married. After all the training he did, Tim was disappointed when he came 4th. He let out a large groan when he realized he'd missed his train. It's a little tight around the waist. You might need a bigger size. If your grandma lived to 103, you must have strong genes in the family. That cut may take a little while to heal. I think we need to rein in the design team. They're blowing our budget. There's a knot that I need you to help me with. I agree with you in principle, but I need more details before I come on board. There's snot on your shirt. So how are you feeling about that quiz, huh? Are you pretty confident about most of your answers? Or were there a few in there where you thought, I'm not sure if I heard that correctly, or I'm not exactly sure how to spell this correctly? Either way, I'm going to go through all the answers for you now, but please make sure you highlight the ones that you got wrong, all right? So that you can spend some time after the quiz just looking into these different words, see how they're used, maybe especially compare them to the other homophones that I'm going to share with you on screen now. Of course, if you've got any questions, add them into the comments below. But now, get your pens ready. Get ready to correct your answers. Let's do it. Sure. Here. There. To. There. Your. Raw. Bear. Pour. Your. By. Flaws. Sure. Which. Bear with me. Stare. Blue. Pears. By. Where and where. Chili. Least. Sight. Dear. Flower and need. Choose. Through. There and there. Dessert. Assistance. Oh, this one's a little tricky. It could also be 2 or more assistants. Either option would make sense here. It would just depend on the context. Through. Your. Morning. Accept. Made. Flare. Band. Alter. flare, course, bread, accept, peace, saw, and saw, scent, discreet, fair, feet, week, weather, fourth, grown, waist, jeans, heel, rain, there's a knot, principal, board, there's snot. So, how did you go? There were definitely some very tricky words in there, and they sound exactly the same when they're spoken, don't they? So that means that you could be using the wrong word or the wrong spelling just by accident. And of course, that impacts on your accuracy and your written English. So right now, I want you to hit pause on the video and count up your score. If you scored between 50 and 60, you did exceptionally well. If you did anything close to that, that's amazing as well. This was a tricky quiz. I hope that in the process of completing this quiz, you also learnt a few new words as well. In fact, if you did, let me know which ones were new for you and make sure you practice using them in a sentence down below. All of my best students are the ones, they're definitely the ones who go beyond my lessons and actually put what we're learning into practice. So is that you? Are you one of my best students? I want to see your sentences down below, okay? Thanks for watching today, and I hope that you had fun. I will see you next week. And in case you want to practice with me a little more today, come check out this lesson right here. I'll see you in there.